We need to talk about this story. This is why people say jungle justice would never work.
Make I pay a transport. I pay and finish. I don't know say she touched me self. As I come down my car, she follow me for back.
You not see anything?
I don't see anything girl.
Hey! Don't touch your own. Oh, like this, I beg go. I don't touch my own. So let touch your own.
On the 8th of October 2023, an elderly woman in her 60s by the name of Anne Ekinechukwu boarded a tricycle heading to church in Asaba. And in that same tricycle, an 18-year-old boy by the name of Sunday Ebube Linus decided that it was time to go viral. Clearly, he wanted to trend, and he thought to do it at the expense of this elderly woman, because who would not believe him if he decides to accuse an old woman of stealing his private parts?
With me together. So as I come down, the keke now move. Before I know, my body started feeling somehow. I didn't get myself again. So I shout that, "Man, what do you do in my body that I'm not getting myself? My dick is doing somehow." She said that, "What am I talking about? That they should calm down, that will take me to Ogwash first. From there, it's not touching my body, that anything that removing my body should come back. Everything that removed my body should come back."
According to Ebube, he claimed the old woman, that is Anne, asked him to pay her transport fare, in which he agreed. Now, Ebube said after he paid this woman's transport fare in the tricycle, he felt his private parts shrinking and assumed that this woman was doing something to him. In his own confession, he claimed the woman touched him, and that is when he noticed that something was missing from his trousers. It was at this moment that Ebube raised the alarm, pointing fingers at this old woman, accusing her of hijacking its private parts. And it did not take long before the crowd pounced on this woman. Obviously, over 100 misguided young Nigerians who clearly had no job and was waiting for something as dramatic as this to happen before they could become relevant, decided to feast on this woman. Without even checking on Ebube, without even checking if Ebube's private part was indeed missing, Anne Ekinechukwu started receiving various hits, punches, and attacks from different corners. And this is because the topic of people's penis going missing was not exactly new. In fact, before this incident, there have been numerous stories about people who had their private parts stolen in different parts of the country already going viral. There have been numerous stories already. It was like the period of private part getting stolen, even though this is an old story that have happened multiple times in the past. But this time, it seemed like it was a trend on the internet. We had seen one in Abuja, we had seen numerous ones in Rivers State, we had even seen or heard of some in Lagos. And so, when it happened in Asaba, it was no surprise and it was no new topic. And probably that was why these angry youths did not take their time to vet the young man before pouncing on the old woman. They immediately believed Linus. And in the crowd, he kept repeating the same story, and nobody, not one person, thought to check his trousers. Since there were all men there, why couldn't anyone just open up his trousers to see if his private part was still there? No one did. They were able to strip this elderly woman stark naked, but yet they could not just zip down this boy's trousers to check if indeed his private part was stolen. And that was how this innocent old woman received the beating of her life. In fact, according to her, she was almost lynched and burnt to death because she said that she had seen someone already throwing tires over her neck, which is ironic because if his private part was stolen, shouldn't she be made to at least return it before you think to kill her? This just goes to show you how misguided a lot of youths are in the country. That they would not even think, when it comes to this world of jungle justice, they would not even vet or investigate or even ask the important question. The instant Ebube Linus raised the alarm, that was the instant this elderly woman was seen as the devil. And maybe her age had something to do with it, because we have this mentality of assuming witchcraft to old women or old men. Once you're old, they just assume you've eaten and killed a lot of young people to live that long. So pretty much, when this young boy accused and pointed finger at this old woman, it was no surprise that the angry youths believed him. But luckily for Anne, the police came to her rescue. And unfortunately for Ebube, unlike the misguided angry crowds, the police decided to do their own investigation when they discovered that his penis was still there, thereby identifying his claim to be a false alarm. Although Ebube would go on to claim that that was how he felt in the moment, but the police don't believe him. And I personally don't believe that he felt any type of way.
I was coming from airport to an stop in DBS Junction. And I stopped in DBS Junction, so I saw the woman. The woman said that I should pay her transport. And I paid the woman transport. So we now come down in the same place. And I go and meet her that they have to know my thing that they should return it Finally, she said that she did not carry anything, that I do not know what I'm talking about.
You now go and meet her.
Yes.
That she has removed your prick. So what makes you think she has removed your prick?
So I'm feeling somehow that time.
When you feel somehow, did you touch your prick and your prick was not there?
Yes, it's going inside.
It was going inside?
Yes.
Okay. Continue now.
So I did not stop her. I did not say I should be my prick. So she said that she did not know what they are accusing me of, that she should leave her alone. So I now said that no, she should give me my prick first and go to the place that they send her. She now said that she calm down.
So all those while you were accusing her, did you touch it to see that it's not there?
I touched it.
When you touched it, what happened?
It's small in your hand.
It was small in your hand?
Yes.
But it was there?
Yes.
And you were accusing that she took your prick?
Yes.
So while they were beating her, nakeding her, beating her, did you confirm whether it was there or it was not there?
I confirm.
What happened?
It's small in your hand.
But it was there?
Yes.
Did you tell them that you are seeing it?
No, I didn't.
So why did you allow them to beat the woman to stupor? If that woman is your mother, how will you feel? You feel bad?
I just felt this was a young little boy trying to trend on the internet. I just felt this was a little boy who clearly has had no attention anywhere and maybe wanted to go viral on the internet, who decided to do this. That is what I can see. I believe from the onset that this woman did not touch him. I believe that this woman did not even do anything near. I don't even believe this woman even asked him to pay his tiffy. Or maybe she did and he thought to see this as an opportunity. I believe he was fully aware that his private part was still there. And he wasn't scared, he wasn't afraid, there was nothing for him to be afraid of. He just saw this woman and decided that it was time for him to be relevant. He, along with his siblings, two of his brothers, who I believed must have been in the keke, I don't know how his brothers came to be, but maybe they were in the keke, were also arrested by the police due to their involvement in the false accusation of Anekinechukwu, which was ironic to me because if you were in a keke already going somewhere, how did your siblings or brothers come into play? Or unless he was going home, maybe they overheard it and came out from the house. But if this was just on the road, him going somewhere and the incident just happened, if his siblings were in the keke too with him, then obviously it looks like something that they all must have planned. Because I don't know how else he would have gotten away with this as far as he did, even though it wasn't for long, because the police were quick. The police had also started arresting people in the neighborhood who played a role in lynching this woman. A lot of people who took part in the jungle justice are being searched for, and the police are doing their due diligence to fish out some of them through the video and arrest them too. And I think that is a good call. A lot of people have always talked about how police should arrest people who involve themselves in jungle justice, and I agree. It's a good thing so that more people would learn. But I don't think this would stop. I don't think people would learn because not everybody even knows that this thing is happening. Some people in an inner thick community somewhere in Nigeria is not aware that it's not right to lynch someone. So we might see this thing happen again. We might see somebody or someone innocent getting lynched and beaten for something that they did not do. We might see another old woman who is defenseless and can't speak for herself get attacked by a group of angry youths because somebody accused her of being a witch. This is not the first time we are seeing this. It probably and sadly may not be the last time, because more than just arresting these people who partake in jungle justice, a lot of indoctrination and a lot of teaching needs to be done in local communities where a lot of this jungle justice take place the most. When Ebube was arrested and was paraded by the police, he confessed and admitted to raising false alarm. He agreed that what he did was wrong. Now, what wasn't clear in his confession was his intention. But to me, yeah, I feel that he knew very much what he was doing, and I've already said that. Even though he wants to claim that he indeed felt his private parts shrinking, I don't believe. And even when he was asked what should be done to him, he assumed or claimed that he should be forgiven.
So what do you think should happen to you now? Use your mouth and say it. Open your mouth. You're asking for forgiveness. So what happens to the woman in the hospital? You don't know what will happen to her? Okay.
I don't even know what to say. My happiness is that this young man is above 18. He's not a minor. He's a full adult. And I hope he's tried as an adult, because he's going to be tried for attempted murder and raising false alarm. And you can imagine, this is something he would have gotten away with, because I don't know how this generation think. I don't know how these people think. Every single opportunity is for them to trend on the internet. And that is what I feel. I do hope he faces the full extent of the law. I hope he is locked up. For a very long time, a lot of people are calling for his forgiveness. There are actually people on the internet asking the police to forgive him, asking the woman to forgive him. Although the elderly woman, Anne, when asked, according to what the reports are saying, is that she said she's grateful that she's alive. She's receiving treatment, even though many hospitals have refused to treat her. She's actually being treated at home because a lot of hospitals are scared that something would happen to her due to the severity of her case. But she's doing fine and she's getting better. And what she's requesting is for Ebube and his family to pay damages. She probably doesn't care if he goes to jail or not, but she wants the boy to pay. And I agree. And I don't know how much Ebube's family can pay. I don't know how wealthy he is. Clearly, he may come from an average income home. So I don't know how far or how much he can raise. But I agree with Anne, and I agree she needs to be paid. She needs to be paid well. Maybe every single person who took part in her lynching should all be extorted from. Their money in their bank accounts should be dried up and given to this woman. Let it hurt them where it should. All their money should go. Maybe when people start losing money for partaking in jungle justice, everybody would stop. And I agree with Anne on that. I believe she should get paid. I also agree with the police. Ebube should go to jail, as well as his brothers, and every single person who took part in attempting to murder this woman. So guys, let me know your thoughts. Let me know how you feel about this case. And if you have any idea how jungle justice can be curbed, how jungle justice can be reduced to the point where innocent people will not keep suffering, let me know your thoughts. Because I'm going to say this too. Yes, a lot of people, there are some cases where we see certain things happen and we are like, yeah, jungle justice should have been the best option. But the problem with it is that when it comes to jungle justice, it can't just be okay for certain specific situations. There are some crimes that are so heinous that we don't even want the person to go back to this police station looking fresh and unkept. We want them roughened up a little. But when we allow it for such cases, obviously it's open season for anyone who is just easily accused. So I personally, yes, I don't buy the idea of jungle justice. I don't think it's fair. I feel like many people who are defenseless or who can't defend themselves, who are not audible, there's so many disadvantages to this thing. Because if this old woman was unable to speak or maybe can't speak English, she would have not been able to have a chance to defend herself and she would have been killed. If she was unhealthy already, she would have been killed and there would have been no way to know the truth. A lot of people have been killed this way. It's only later that the truth starts to come out. If there's anything we could learn from the Alufo story, is that a lot of the victims of jungle justice are not fairly tried. And the true story doesn't come out until mostly after. And by then, it's too late because the innocent has been killed. And the people who did the killing are nowhere to be found because they were in a crowd of 1,000 people. But
the main charges we have against them for now is attempted murder, because that woman was beaten to the point that if the policemen were not there on time, I don't think she would have survived it.